Gather round, kids. Uncle Casey is going to tell you a little story. March 4th, 1990, a young man was born in Saginaw, Michigan. For now, we will just call him Jamal. At a young age, Jamal realized that he was a talented young basketball player. During his senior year at Saginaw High School, Jamal led his team to a 27-1 record, second consecutive state championship. Team was even ranked number 4 in the country by USA Today. But even with that being the case, Jamal was not a big star coming out of high school. He wasn't even a 5-star recruit. Ends up going to Michigan State, where he spent 4 years playing basketball. And just like high school, Jamal wasn't highly touted when he was in college. Now, don't get me wrong, he was a good player. Matter of fact, he was one of the better players in the country. But there's a huge difference between being a good basketball player and being a star. After his senior season at Michigan State, Jamal declares for the NBA draft. Ends up being drafted in the second round, which is usually a career death sentence for a potential NBA player. Vast majority of second round picks, they end up playing overseas or they spend their career in the G League. But Jamal, he wanted something better for himself. The team that drafted him in the NBA, that team had a potential superstar. Jamal knew that he was going to be a career role player in the NBA, but if he could find a way to attach himself to this star player, allowing that star player to shine, allowing that star player to elevate the team, Jamal knew that some of that star power, it would rub off on him. You see, Jamal knew something at a young age that WNBA dump divers are having a really hard time understanding. Jamal knew that a rising star lifts everyone around him. The young man that I am talking about, his name is Draymond Jamal Green. Now, as you guys know, I cannot stand Draymond Green. I think he is a plague to the NBA. I thought he should have been suspended for the entire season for attacking Rudy Gobert. Even though I think Draymond Green is detestable, there is one thing I can respect him for. Even though he is a role player, Draymond Green, he found a way to become a superstar. And the way he did that was by riding the cape of Steph Curry, Superman. If the dump divers in the WNBA were smart, they would study the career trajectory of Draymond Green. Instead, WNBA dump divers, they seem to be doing everything in their power to destroy their rising star. And one of the leaders in this movement of self-destruction, Angel Reese. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. It is abundantly clear at this point that unknown WNBA players are extremely jealous of Caitlin Clark. In a way, I can understand why someone like AJ Wilson could be jealous. Well, KC, who in the hell is AJ Wilson? Yeah, that's my point. AJ is a 2-time winner of the Golden Toilet. She has won back-to-back championships with the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces. Yet 99% of the country could not identify her in a one-photo lineup. In a way, I can kind of understand her jealousy. But it didn't have to be that way with Angel Reese. Coming into the WNBA, Angel Reese was already a star. That does not mean she was a draw. People aren't buying tickets to see Angel Reese. Her games are not appointment television. Hell, most of her games aren't even nationally televised. But Angel Reese was still a star coming out of college. For some reason, she seems to be doing everything she can to destroy herself. Last weekend, after she celebrated Chennedy Carter knocking Caitlin Clark to the floor, Angel Reese refused to speak to the media. Why? No one knows. Maybe the feelings of jealousy were too much for her to overcome and she didn't want to have a public emotional outburst. I don't know, but as a result of her skipping this press conference, Angel Reese was fined $1,000. In the WNBA, that's known as 1 month's salary. Within hours of the fine being announced publicly, Angel Reese, she got on Instagram and published a sponsored post featuring her wearing clothes that she was being paid to wear. Was this a subtle message to the WNBA? Was this Angel Reese saying that your $1,000 fine is completely meaningless because I'm being paid 200-300 times that amount to upload these pictures to Instagram? Again, I don't know. What I do know, the comment section was filled with people telling Angel Reese that Caitlin Clark is the bigger star. Hundreds of comments of people telling Angel Reese that no one watches the WNBA because of her. 24 hours later, Angel Reese, she finally decides to speak to the media. Now, of course, it wasn't the national media this time because Caitlin Clark wasn't involved. Since it was just Chennedy Carter and Angel Reese, the only people that bothered to show up was local media in Chicago. Unsurprisingly, local media in Chicago, they didn't give a shit about Angel Reese and Chennedy Carter. The only thing they wanted to talk about was Caitlin Clark. In response to one of their questions, Angel Reese, she went on this bizarre, embarrassing rant where she attributed the growth of the WNBA to herself. Watch for yourself.
And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
The sad thing is, I think Angel Reese actually believes what she is saying. Nobody else believes it, but I think Angel Reese believes it. I also think this belief is widespread throughout the WNBA. Dump divers, they really believe that people are watching the WNBA because of them. Look, I like Angel Reese. I actually defended Angel Reese last year when she was being unfairly attacked for taunting Caitlin Clark, but I'm having a hard time understanding the logic of this new and improved Angel Reese. She claims that she is just playing a role here. I'm embracing the role of the villain. The last thing the WNBA needs is another villain. For years, one of the biggest problems in this league has been none of the players are likable. Just last year, Bob Griner became a household name. The release of Bob Griner from Vlad's Pooter completely divided the country. It was the most exposure the WNBA had seen in decades. How'd that work out? How many new viewers watched the WNBA? How many games did Bob Griner sell out? None. Her first game in Phoenix with the Masculines, there were empty seats in the front row. Her first game of the regular season against the LA Sparkles, 500,000 viewers. After that, Bob Griner and the WNBA were completely forgotten. Donna Taurasi, the Sue Bird. For years, the WNBA has been filled with unlikable players, villainous players. And it didn't work. And now Angel Reese thinks she is going to become a draw by being hated? Let's take a quick look and see how that's working out for her. The Chicago Bravado, they have had 3 home games so far this season. Their arena seats over 10,000 people. The Bravado, they are averaging 8,000 a game. Caitlin Clark, doubling that number. Last weekend, there were 9 games in the WNBA. The 2 games involving Caitlin Clark, over 17,000 people. The rest of the dump averaged 7,000. Are you noticing a trend here? I'm talking to Angel Reese. You better wake the fuck up. People are not watching the WNBA because of you. Hell, most people can't watch because of you because your games are not nationally televised. People are not coming to WNBA games to see Angel Reese. You can't even sell out your home dump, which is half the size of an NBA arena and half the size of arenas in major college basketball. At this rate, when we look back in 20 years and remember this period in the WNBA, we're not even going to remember Angel Reese. Because Angel Reese is well on her way to being forgotten. Think about it. Before this past weekend, when was the last time you heard anything about Angel Reese? Do you even know where she was picked in the draft? Do you remember hearing about her WNBA debut? Highly unlikely because it wasn't televised. The star power of Angel Reese is declining, and it doesn't have to be that way. I don't understand why these women in the WNBA are destroying this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Look, I understand why Angel Reese could be resentful of Caitlin Clark. You can make a strong case that if it wasn't for Angel Reese taunting Caitlin Clark would not be this big of a star. Think about everything that's happened since April of 2023. Caitlin Clark has outperformed Angel Reese in every metric: attendance, television ratings, mainstream exposure. The WNBA is building around Caitlin Clark instead of Angel Reese. I'm sure that probably pisses her off. Angel Reese is a competitor. She wants to be the best. But you can't let feelings of jealousy and resentment prevent you from taking advantage of the situation to elevate yourself. Angel Reese should be celebrating Caitlin Clark, and that's exactly what she was doing before she got to the WNBA. I wonder why. I wonder if Angel Reese has been influenced by veteran WNBA dump divers. Remember, before she entered the league, Angel Reese claimed that me and Katie are friends. We're besties. What the hell happened to that? You can have a rivalry on the court, but off the court, you should be laughing to the bank together. How many times have you seen LeBron James tear down a future superstar in the NBA? During the All-Star game in 1998, did Michael Jordan publicly tear into Kobe Bryant? No! Stars in the NBA, they use their drawing power to elevate future stars. Angel Reese and the dump divers in the WNBA, they are doing the complete opposite. And Angel Reese, she is embarrassing herself in the process. During that same press conference, the media asked Chennedy Carter about knocking Caitlin Clark down. Angel Reese decided to take over, and she decided to respond for Chennedy Carter. Watch her response. See if you notice the same thing I noticed.
Kenny, can you get in the mic?
JJ knocked me down?
No, you don't understand.
Oh, you go check the film. JJ knocked me down. She didn't get a flagrant one though. Yeah, she got a regular foul, but it was the same thing. It was the same thing. But no, go check the clip. It's the same thing. All right.
Thank you.
Go Sky.
Thank you.
Maybe it's just me, but to me, Angel Reese comes off bitter and childish. They're asking about the foul on Caitlin Clark, and Angel Reese says, "The same thing happened to me. How come I didn't get sympathy? Check the tape. Go, bravado!" You better wake up. This league better wake up. You have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here. This will never happen again. The WNBA will never see a star like Caitlin Clark in our lifetime. This is not the NBA where we see superstars in every generation. Even when the NBA doesn't have a superstar, they can rely on the product on the court to get them through down periods. Ratings aren't going to be great, but they're still respectable. WNBA, they don't have that luxury. Product on the court sucks. You have one player in this league that people are willing to watch. And Angel Reese and the other 142 players, they refuse to let her star power elevate the rest of them. Give me your thoughts on this. Angel Reese is quickly becoming an embarrassment. Amazing player on the court, but no one will know you're amazing if they're not watching. I know she's a rookie, but Angel Reese, it just seems like she could have helped Caitlin Clark be accepted in the WNBA. Instead, she just decided to join the bitterness. Will Caitlin Clark ever be accepted? Will Angel Reese ever be a draw? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.